everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa and today I'm going to use some new makeup products that I recently shown in my Sephora Ulta haul. So today I'm going to be using the new Colourpop Sage the Day palette, the new L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Mascara. I'm going to show you how I use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. And these products are new to me. They're not new in the market, but the Rare Beauty Lip Liner and the Too Faced Lip Injection. So when I use the e.l.f. Halo Liquid Glow, this is how I've been doing it. I've been using a pore filling primer. This one's just from MASCARA. It is an Aldi brand. It's like a dupe for the Smashbox pore filling primer. And I just focus this on the areas where I want to hide my pores. Just because I'm using a more glowy product, it is going to emphasize pores and, you know, all that stuff. So I try to help it a little bit. So here is the e.l.f. and this is in the shade 2 Fair Light. I feel like the shade is a touch too dark for me. I should have got the shade 1, and I should have known better because I remember hearing people say that these run a little dark, but they do offer quite a bit of pigment. They come in skin tone shades. Like, I was confused when these products first hit the market. I thought they were more like liquid highlighters, but they're different. They're like more like a really glowy BB cream, but you can use it as a highlighter. You kind of use it however you want. And I'm just going to take a sponge and blend it out. If you want it to be more pigmented, you could use a brush, but this one is a little more yellow, and it definitely has like a metallic sheen to it. I think the most popular way to wear this is as a primer. Now I'm going to conceal. I've been using this a lot recently, the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Pearl, and I'm just going to conceal everywhere where I feel like I need to conceal, in like the highlighting areas, because this is pretty much basically my only coverage product that I'm going to be using. Because the e.l.f. offers slight coverage, but not much. And this concealer is nice for like that because it is very full coverage, and it's nice to use. Like, it's a good concealer for all over the face too, like if you want to use it as a foundation. And this is my concealer brush from Amazon. It is the Enzo Ken brush, and it's like a dupe for the Rare Beauty concealer brush because it's slanted. And I'm just gonna push the concealer in and blend it out, and then I will go over with my sponge just to smooth everything out. And I do my under eye concealer last, just to let it sit for a second. And I take whatever, I didn't put any concealer directly on my eyes, but I take whatever's, like I bring it up and put it on my eyelid. And I'm gonna go in with my sponge and just blend everything out. It is a little dark for me, but once I put powder on and all that, it just kind of blends in together. But if you're close to my skin tone and you're interested in e.l.f. Halo Glow, I would definitely go with shade 1. Now I'm going to set my whole face with the Coty Airspun powder. I got mine in the shade Honey Beige, so it does have some pigment to it. Take my sponge and pretty much put it all over under my eyes. But based on your preferences and skin type, you might just want to do like under your eyes, or you don't want to do any powder. That's totally fine. But I feel like it does help lighten the makeup. Maybe it defeats the purpose of the glowy primer. After a while, the powder will like set in and the glow will come through. I mean, do I think the e.l.f. Halo Glow is a necessary product? Not really, for how I do my makeup, but it's not bad. But I think it works, at least the way I use it, I think it works the same as like a glowy BB cream. I just made a huge mess on my floor. I dropped the powder and it got all over the floor, but good thing I have hardwood, not carpet, so I will clean that as soon as I'm done with this video. But let's move on. Okay, Now I'm going to just do the rest of my base and I'll speed through and then we'll show you the eyeshadow. Okay, now we're gonna use the new Colourpop Sage the Day eyeshadow palette. So it is just in cardboard packaging. It does not have a mirror and this palette is $14. So it's a more warm green brown palette. I think it's really pretty. I know the child palette from Colourpop is very similar. I do not own that, but I feel like if you already do, you probably don't need this one. And it really reminds me of the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. It is a little different, but it's a very similar like color scheme. And this shade right here, Definer, is pretty much the same thing as this, called Nature Bay. I'll do a swatch comparison of those two shades. This is the Wet n Wild, and this is the Colourpop. So they're very, very similar, but there is a slight formula difference. This palette is all satin, and it doesn't really have any mattes, but this one is a mixture of matte and satin shades. So if you had the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone and you really like that color story, I do believe they do have a newer version of this, but this is very, you know, similar, like sisters. So I'm going to start with Sips Tea, this light green, and I'm going to put it all over my eye. And this is the first time I'm using this palette. It's a light, you know, light green. It's a little patchy on this eye. Okay, now I want to go in with a crease shade. I think I'm going to go in with Intuition. It's like mid-tone warmer brown. Not super warm, but it definitely leans on the warmer side. And I'll just slowly build that up in the crease. I'm using a Profusion brush. I believe this came, Profusion Makeup did like a Sage collection. I'll kind of bring it up. I'm going to switch brushes and go in with my Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH40. It's just a small blender, and I'm going to go in with the deepest shade, Smudge Me, real deep olive green. And I'm going to pat that on the outer corner. And that shade seems to be going on really nice. It looks really pigmented. I really like the color. I feel like the shade could get muddy real quick. Like this eye I added too much product. It looks pretty muddy, but I really enjoy how I did this eye. I'm just going to take like a blender brush and buff that out real good. And I'm going to take a little bit of that Coty Airspun powder just to buff it in. Definitely could make more grungy looks out of this palette. And I want to run a little bit of Keep Calm through the crease as well. This looks like a true sage green. Oh, I'm not getting... Okay, that's working better. But this shade doesn't seem to have a lot of pigment, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what you're going for. I'm going to use some shimmers. I'm going to do Tree of Life. This looks like an old antique green color. And I'm going to put it over my outer corner area. I did get a little fallout, but That was a really pretty color. I want to go in with Nature Bay, that duochrome. And when I swatched this duochrome, it felt like really creamy and buttery. Like, that's such a pretty shade. And I'll use Retreat Me, the lighter green, in the inner part of my eye. I'm just doing my classic go-to makeup look. I'm not wetting these shadows or anything. I feel like I'm not getting like crazy impact with just using a brush. I'm sure it'd be better with your finger or if I wetted these shades, but it's not terrible for not wetting it. And for the inner corner, I'll go in with Lit Vibes. This shade looks like it has like a duochrome too. Right here, it's really light, but it does have like a light green shift. And I'm just gonna go with my buffer brush again. This is from Real Techniques. It is the Deluxe Crease Brush. And I feel like it's like short and dense, but it really helps blend. If you're not like a really good blender. Yeah, and I did get a little fallout, so I'm just gonna brush that away. And for the lower lash line, I'm just gonna go in with Smudge Me on a flat definer brush and just push that under my lashes to create like a defined look, like almost like I'm wearing eyeliner, and focusing it more on the outer eye. It just helps you make your eyes look a little larger. You could either put like a nude in your waterline, a nude pencil liner, or just leave it as is. It'll just, you know, give the appearance of a larger eye without any liner there. And to buff out that color, I'll go in with Sips Tea, why not that light green, and just like a little small smudger brush. So I'm done with the eyeshadow palette. I do like the way it looks. I think it's really pretty. I feel like I'm mostly gonna get like dark looks out of this if I try to use the complete palette, but I could get lighter spring looks if I just focus on the lighter shades. I'm gonna use my favorite Color Key brown liner. I got this on Amazon. It is like K-Beauty brand, but so good. It's my favorite liquid brush liner. I also, the black, I've talked about it a million times. It's just so good. I think this look would be really nice with brown. I'm going to do that real quick, and then we're going to use the new mascara. Okay, so now time for the Telescopic Lift by L'Oreal. My daughter is in the shower. Sorry, guys. So I did use this yesterday for the first time, and in my haul video, I wasn't sure if this was a tubing formula, and you could tell when you remove it if it comes off in like flakes, and water will remove it. It came off like both. It kind of came off in little flakes a little bit, but it came off like a regular mascara. So I think it's just a regular mascara. Okay, so the brush is very unique. You got like a paddle, kind of like a flat edge. The sides are a little longer, and then the top has like short bristles. So when you first put it on, you're supposed to load your lashes with the top bristles, and then you're supposed to go through the side to like comb it out. And this is a very wet formula, and I think it builds really fast. It could get out of hand really quick and really clumpy. And I'm gonna go to the side and try to comb it out. Yeah, it already got pretty clumpy. This is probably one of those mascaras that would be best to have like a paper towel on hand and wipe off excess product until it dries out a little, because it's very wet. It's supposed to lift. I guess it lifts a little bit. This mascara is so wet that I didn't even have to dip again. But I do think it gives really pretty effect. My lashes did definitely look longer, and it did add some volume, but I think it's just one of those you have to let it dry out a little bit to get really like the best results out of this. And for lips, I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty lip liner, the shade Fun, and I'm just gonna put this all over the lips. And this color is a little warmer, so I thought it would go good with the eyes. And the lip liner is really creamy. And I had decent lasting power when I wore it yesterday, and I had a gloss over it and it still lasted pretty well. But it does dry down, and I think it'll last a while on the lips. And then the Too Faced Lip Injection Supreme, a new product to myself, and I'm just gonna put it on top. It has like this spicy smell to it. Like, I try to cover it with something sweet. And yesterday when I wore this, I felt a slight tingle sensation, even though this says it's the extreme version, but I haven't tried it like just on the lips by itself. But yeah, this is my completed look. I think it looks really pretty. I think this shadows color story looks really pretty with my green eyes. I find it would be a really nice palette for the fall or spring. Obviously, you can wear it whenever you want. This color story can be duped, I'm pretty sure, even within Colourpop's own range of, eyeshadow palettes. If you own the child, you don't need this, but I think it's cute. I think it's pretty, and I'm happy that I purchased it. And yeah. But that is it for today's video. Let me know if you guys picked up this palette or if it's something you're interested in. Do you like green shadows? And I will have 2 more videos coming up, within this month of using the new products that I got in the haul. I have 2 more eyeshadow palettes to use. But I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.